All right, my students, in Algebra 1, we are in lesson 55, and it is a super quick, super easy lesson. Do you remember keep it, change it, flip it from the beginning of the year when we went over that? That's all we're doing this time is keep it, change it, flip it. But we're talking about complex fractions. So we're going to be using some fractions that are just a little bit more difficult, a little bit harder to wrap your head around. For example, let me back up. When we first talked about this, we were talking about doing fractions like this. We were saying 1/2 divided by 3/4, right? And we were saying, okay, in order to find the answer to that, we use keep it, change it, flip it, where we say 1/2, we keep 1/2, we change the sign from division to multiplication, and we flip the second fraction, right? Then we multiply, and we get 4/6. And that would be the correct answer. We would reduce that to 2/3. That would be the right answer. We're going to do the same thing with some more complex fractions. So don't blow your mind, but for just a minute, let's look at a complex fraction. We've got a over b is our first fraction, and that is over c over d. All right, so this is an example. We have a division problem, and normally it would look like this. And it'd be really easy to go from here to keep it, change it, flip it. We would just do a over b times d over c. That would equal ad over bc, right? Easy peasy. We just have to learn how to see this like this. That's all we have to do. That's the only thing that's different. So let's look at a few example problems and do that. So here's 55.1. We have a over b all over c. So when we look at that, we can say, okay, this is a over b times, and we have c over 1 because that's all by itself, so it's a whole number. So when we flip it, that becomes 1 over c. So a over b times c. That would be our answer. All right, 55.2. That's it. I mean, that's all we're doing. All of these are just like this. We have 1 over c all over 1 over b. So we rewrite it. 1 over c, change the sign, flip the fraction, the second fraction. It becomes b over c. Easy peasy. 55.3. We have a over 1 over c. We flip it, right? We say, all right, this is a whole number, so we're going to keep it, a over 1. Change the sign and do c over 1 because we're flipping this, right? So now we have a times c, but 1 times 1 is a denominator of 1, which we know anything over 1 is a whole number, so we don't have to put this over 1. This is our answer. All right, 55.4. I'm going to let you guys do this one. A over x all over b over a plus x. All right, I'm going to let you pause the video, solve this one, and then come back and check your answer. All right, if you got a times a plus x over xb, then you got the right answer. That's all there is to it. Oh my goodness. The hardest part is when you have something like this and you're not sure exactly if this is the line to divide or if this is the line to divide. I'm going to try to make this a darker line or a longer line whenever I give you work, whenever we have a test. That way it's easier for you to see it. All right, we have one more, and we have 55.5 It's fairly easy. M over N all over X over Y. Again, keep it, change it, flip it. That's the right answer. That's it. That's all there is to it. And that's all there is for this lesson. This is our first 5-minute lesson that we've had all year. And this is mostly a review. And I don't know if you realize or not, but we're going to start doing more of this. We're going to be having more and more of these types of problems where it's the same thing we learned before. It's just a little bit different, or just a tiny bit harder, or a little bit more complex. But the review starts now. Good luck, and I will see you in lesson 56.